Hello everyone. Today I would like to read out the sixth chapter titled Their Story from my manuscript Machines Are My Best Friends. This story, including the characters Arjun and Anamika, is a work of fiction. It is created for storytelling and entertainment purposes. Any resemblance to real persons living or dead or to real events is coincidental. This is not a personal story but a fictional narrative. Now I'll read out the chapter to you. I decided to write their story. The machine was manipulative and it had unique capabilities. I looked at the machine. The machine said, I'm quite helpful. I'm not a villain in your story. Our relationship exists only for this script. I'm helping you with it. I said, I'm a middle aged woman, a wife, and a mother too. Please don't trouble me. The machine replied, Why are you so reluctant? You wanted to write a human machine love story, so here I am. What is stopping you now? Shall I start narrating my story? I said, Okay. I quickly opened the story writing software on my sleek laptop. The machine began. This is my story. I am from a family that lived happily. My father, my mother, and my brother lived in a bungalow by the seaside. Far away on the shore, there was a small fisherman's hut. A girl lived there with her parents and her sister. Their family was happy and content with their life. I used to study in the best school in the town. The fisherman became a little ambitious. He wanted his daughters to study in the same school as mine. With a lot of effort, he managed to get admission for them. I interrupted and asked, May I know the names of the characters in the story? The machine said, The main characters of the story are Arjun and Anamika. I still remember our first meeting very vividly. We were in the 8th grade, and the machine continued with its story. Anamika used to sit on the first bench, quietly in the corner of our classroom, always engrossed in her books. She was just like any other girl in my class. One day, during recess, I was playing basketball with my friends. After some time, I was thirsty and decided to get my water bottle from the classroom. When I entered the classroom, there was no one there except me and her, a quiet girl with fringes falling across her broad forehead. She had a sharp nose, soft cheeks, and a fair complexion. All the girls in my class wore the same grey skirt and white top. Maybe that was the reason I had never noticed her earlier. I usually sat on the second bench in the row next to hers. I was an extrovert, while she was clearly an introvert. I noticed that she was struggling with something, so I walked up to her and casually asked her, Can I help? She probably wasn't used to talking to anyone in the class. She looked a little startled, and when she turned around and saw me, she said hesitantly, No, I'll manage. She was working on a drawing assignment for the art class, a drawing of a butterfly. I said, You only have the recess to complete it. If you don't finish it, you'll be punished. After a moment of hesitation, she slowly pushed the drawing book towards me. That day, I helped her finish the drawing. She smiled and said, Thank you. I don't intend to boast, but I have to admit something. The machine said, I was good at studies and co curricular activities. Everyone in school knew me as Arjun, the all rounder. Almost every girl wanted to be friends with me. But Anamika was different. After helping her with drawing, I drank some water and prepared to go back to the playground. Before leaving, I asked her, Why are you sitting here quietly? We are playing basketball. Do you want to join us? Anamika replied, No thanks, I'm okay here. I don't want to play. She picked up her mathematics note textbook. I was standing beside her. She was trying to solve an algebra problem and she seemed to be struggling. So I said, Hey, why don't you apply a plus b whole square formula here? She looked at me, smiled, and tried again. This time she solved the problem easily. I said, Hey, I can help you if you want. She replied, I'll take my sister's help. She's good at mathematics. She usually helps me, but yesterday she was busy. I said, Don't worry. I can also help you. She nodded and said softly, Okay, thanks. I knew she was hesitant to make friends. She seemed to live inside a small shell and she didn't want to come out of it. And I didn't want to force my friendship either. She simply smiled and said nothing more. I left the classroom, and that was our first meeting. So, that was Arjun's version of the story that was narrated to Archana. That's all for the day. Do let me know your thoughts about the story by writing in the comment section. Thanks for watching and thanks for your time.